Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and this is my Influencer Illusion series, and today we're exploring the massive restocking videos that have taken over TikTok. I know we've all seen them. I know we all love them. I have broken it down to like sections that I've found. So like food, home, bathroom, and then just like mini accessories that people are keeping around, just like a lot of them, and it's kind of crazy. I feel like we can just jump right in. I don't think this video will be as long as the rest of them, but who knows? I am kind of long-winded. I get that, honestly. So let's look at the first one. Like, this is just, I feel like these people are starting from scratch when they do these videos. Like, my fridge could never look like this, and that's not an on them or on me thing. I just feel like sometimes this gives an impression that this is like the thing you should be striving for, and what you currently have isn't good enough. And sometimes I just feel like these people go through, like, yes, you should be cleaning everything before but they put everything in extra containers that I know we all thought were really cute and really cool, but this is so much stuff to keep up with. And does she clean everything beforehand? I'm gonna go with probably yes, because she looks like somebody who is like a super clean person. But this is a lot. Like, my fridge will never look like this. And do they start over every single time, or do they just actually start from scratch? Like, they actually wait until their fridge is completely ready to be restocked, and then they're like, oh, it's time for me to add, like, do an entire thing? Or are they filming this once, or they filmed a few of these and they have continually just like reclipped some of these together, or used like an old one, and to make it feel like they do this more often than not. I feel like it is an actual illusion to what they do compared to just keeping in mind that this is a trend and not something that everybody can do, because I couldn't do this. I couldn't afford to do this, nor would I want to. This is so much work. And I mean, the videos are catchy. Like, we'll play this next one. It'll just be another one adding into it. See, their videos all start from this blank slate, which is like the most crazy thing to me. Like, you can see around it that there is nothing there. Like, their fridge can't stay that clean. It doesn't feel like anybody lives in this home. Like, the only time my fridge is that clear of everything is when I move into a new place and I need to completely restock my fridge, which is a very different perspective than these people doing this all the time. And I feel like it adds into that overconsumption perspective of just having too much and needing to continue to have more and more. And people are like, oh, this is normal. Like, why are we normalizing the amount of like too much stuff? Because like, I'd be afraid that some of this stuff would go bad. I'd be afraid that like she's just keeping some of the stuff out in the like her garage. I don't know. It's just like, good on her for being able to buy all of this stuff, honestly. But to me, I'd be like, because there's obviously a ton of kids' food she's putting in here. Like, is that easily accessible to her kids? Does that make sense for her kids to be able to go in and grab and be able to do this over and over again? And plus, like, she's putting drinks that are in containers in other containers. Like, what sense does that make? Like, like, I don't know, that just seems, but she doesn't do that for other things. I don't know. I'm watching her and the amount of stuff that she's adding into this, and my question is, like, did you start this from scratch? Because you made it seem like you perceived that this is starting from scratch, and then you went out and bought all of this stuff, which is fine, but is that actually what happened? And here is another one, and it's just the snack drawer, which this seems a little bit more realistic to me, I think. I'm pausing the video really quick because, like, do we need pink like towels? That's so unnecessary, and I bet that is so expensive, and you'd have to order that because there's no way I've ever seen pink paper towels in the grocery store. No grocery store is going to hold that. That's kind of crazy. Like, I appreciate that she's cleaning up this drawer, but I don't think this is the only video I grabbed of hers, and that wasn't on purpose. This drawer does make a little bit more sense if you have kids and putting these things in a drawer for them, unlike the other one where she was putting them in containers kind of higher up, which made it seem kind of impossible for like children to get to if that was the point of putting them in the refrigerator. So this makes more sense. This would be something that I would do for my kids, is definitely have a whole drawer of snacks and make sure it's easily accessible to them. So I don't condemn her for that, but it's the starting. Like, do you go through everything every single week and you just wait until it's like completely gone? Or is everything in a different fridge and you just use this one as your like prop? Like, I'm sorry, not everybody can afford to spend money on all of this stuff. Like, this is a lot of stuff to put in a fridge. And we'll see kind of over and over again with these fridge restocks that it just seems like a lot more stuff to purchase than what like a normal person purchases on the weekends to restock their fridge. Because I can tell you right now, this is more stuff than what I purchased for my husband and I, and we eat quite a bit. We have 3 meals a day. I work from home and I eat everything from home, so I only go like out to eat like once or twice a week if we go on more than one date throughout the like on the weekend. So it's not even on the week. So we have another full fridge restock, and I think what I can't wrap my head around is the fact that all of these start from complete scratch. Wait, did I just watch this one? Actually, I didn't. They just all like follow that same formula of keeping it perfectly clean, adding that drink thing in first, and which I feel like will end up taking up more room than necessary, because now she's just adding drinks to the side of it, which I feel like could have saved some space, especially since you can't fit all of your drinks. Now, I do also put my meat in a separate container, but because you get it in those, like, go to the deli and they give it into those bags, and just as an easier storage thing. But like, where do you put your leftovers? Where do you put anything extra? At least this fridge at the front of it makes it look like somebody lives at this house. All the other ones look like they were fridges that you look and don't touch, which I don't like that. All right, so for this one, you obviously see her like packing these tiny little drinks. Again, this seems so unnecessary. Like, good on her for being like that she wants to keep up with that, but also like remembering all of those people on TikTok who admitted to all of this just being a lie. Like, what? That makes me just not believe any of these people who do things like this, because they lie, and you can catch a lot of these TikTokers in a lie if you dig deep enough and look hard enough, because like, what's the point of some of the stuff? She literally locked some of her food away. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, at least she has a place for her leftovers, I guess, and the snack drawer is a little easier to get to. But this just seems like so much, and I'm like, do you actually... The ice gets to me. I would love to know if she actually uses all of this ice, because are we doing it just for aesthetic purposes and just like wasting room in the freezer? Because there's a girl on TikTok who that was her whole aesthetic, was the ice thing, and she lied about it. She was like, I never used it. She was like, I don't even like ice. She was like, and then she like came back saying that other people used it, but still, that's such a waste if you don't even like ice, and that's your whole aesthetic, is to have ice. Like, I don't know. And then, of course, everything's very quick and fast, having that clicky noise that everybody really likes on TikTok. This just feels like it gives so much overconsumption, and we're just okaying it. And I feel like that in a lot of different areas of the, in a lot of different areas in this world of the influencers over consuming on everything because they can, but also what people aren't realizing is they can write a lot of this stuff off because they put it in a video and this is their full-time job. Like, they literally write off probably pretty much all of these groceries that they use in a video of a restock, and that's probably why it's easier for them to be able to afford this, because they know that ultimately they could probably write off a good percentage of it, so they are going to buy more than what they need. But then are they wasting a lot of it and not actually eating it? Because some food just goes bad a lot quicker than others. I'm not saying that any of this is, because all of this is candy, which is a ton. I guess I didn't watch this video all the way through earlier. This is a ton of candy. Like, what? Who is this for? Like, why would you just... Oh, I see. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because I don't... Like, these restocking of the snack drawers really just intrigue me. Intrigue is the right word, because I'm very interested in the fact that they let them get fully empty before they start refilling them. And yeah, like, good healthy snacks, love to see it, love to see the cheese and everything, but why are you waiting for them to get completely empty? Because if this was in my house, I would have started refilling it and just moved all of the older stuff up front, made sure that was eaten first, and then kept going and just purchased more snacks. And it just doesn't feel like that's happening, or it feels like we're being lied to that, like, that is what she did, but she isn't showing opening some of these things because they're old, but she needs to show filling the whole thing. So it makes other moms feel bad when they're like, I can't afford to do this, which most people can't. Like, most people who make good incomes are like, I am never going to do this. I have plenty of friends who are moms who would never take the time out of their day to do something like this because it's unnecessary. Like, this is just generally unnecessary. Like, that is so much stuff. And like, I'm glad that most of it was pretty healthy, but was it actually completely empty when you started this? And I don't mind making pre-made snacks for your kids, for whoever like needs to grab and go. I've thought about doing something like this for my husband if he would eat it, because he actually goes to work. And I don't see a problem with this. Like, this is fine. You can meal prep, because this feels like a smaller version of meal prep, and I don't see any problem with that. I think that's fine, because you want to get something healthier in, you have specific goals you want to get to and things like that. And yeah, I don't see a problem with this, but I might be like going too fast. But she's not like refilling a whole refrigerator. It's just snacks, which is totally fine. Like, this is exactly what, I don't know, most normal people do when they're like, oh, I have a busy week, let me meal prep some things. And I think that's totally fine. That's an easy grab and go for either a kid or an adult that they could be eating, and it's healthy. And I see no problem with that, because it didn't make it seem like this isn't something that she does every day. Like, she just made snacks for the week. Like, that's totally fine. Is when you see videos like this, and this is just candy. Like, this is so much candy. This is, like, I have no idea who this person is, but this is a ton of candy. And like, why? Like, when it's so easily accessible, people eat it more. Like, when we have candy at the house, because I usually keep Reese's cups at our house, I hide them in the back of the pantry, and I pull them out, and I grab a few for me, and I grab a few for my husband, and that's when we eat them. Because when you have just this much candy available, I'm sorry, people are gonna eat it. Like, especially if you're like my husband and you can't help but to just like graze on this and you have no stopping point. And then, of course, you know, that was probably the most realistic thing I've seen was the drinks, because it was still already full and it was for the delivery drivers. Like, I appreciate that much more honesty than anything. See, it's another, like, that quick shot of everything being completely empty, and this could be the one and only time that she fills everything up, but will it be Probably not. She got a huge hit off of this, and like maybe wanting to continue on that and continue to do that. But some of these containers don't make sense for what she's putting in them, because the coffee, that'll dry out and it'll be stale coffee, and I wouldn't put powder sugar in something like that because it's easily accessible. The brown sugar will go stale because there's nothing in there keeping it moist. That's why you keep them with something that can keep it. Some of these just don't make sense. Like you can't there's a reason why some of these things come in the packaging that they do, and it's like for a specific reason versus just putting them in whatever container you want. Now, there are containers out there that are meant for these products, and they're nice looking containers, but these are just regular glass containers that aren't 100% sealed, and that is how you get bugs and ants and things, especially if you already have that type of problem. And this is just doesn't make sense, and all for the views. And I'm not saying that will happen to this person, but I am saying that that brown sugar will 100% dry out because there's nothing in there keeping it moist. And like the coffee will also, because like I keep my coffee in like there's a reason why you keep them in either something that sucks all the air out of it or those bags, because for the most part you can compress it down, and that hole in it that you can smell the coffee through will compress that air out, so it still keeps it healthier, or it keeps it healthier, that's a good word for it, longer, and it keeps it fresher. That's the word I was looking for. Fresher for longer versus doing something aesthetic where it's going to go bad pretty quickly. Again, the only other products that I see are at the bottom of that video. You saw like it being in there. Like, is this really necessary? Like, you see some of the snacks at the bottom that were left over. Okay, but like, what's the point of taking it out of the old bags and putting it in the new ones? Like, you're leaving it in the bag. Like, are you just doing it for this video so you can put them back in the box and then take them back? I don't know. I have so many questions as to why she left the cereal in the bag. Like, yes, the snacks look very nice, and for the most part, these are pretty healthy snacks. I'm down. Like, I have nothing wrong with anything that she's feeding her kids. Like, to each their own. Like, I think these, like, I've definitely seen worse from parents, but, and that's a really nice cabinet. I feel like there could be a lot more that could fit in these cabinets, but you can't because of the containers at the top too. Since they don't easily just fit right next to each other, you're wasting a ton of space. Now, the bottom three, I can get behind, no big deal. I take snacks out of things and shove them all into a box so we can just like grab our hand in and grab whatever we want out of it. That makes sense to me. But when the cereal boxes like easily line up against each other and there's no space in between them where this is, and like I get you could really tell the cereal by the look of it, but an easy way to tell what cereal you want is to look at the box, and you can't even do that. But what if somebody comes over and they have a dietary restriction and they accidentally grab the wrong thing because they can't look at it? Because kids don't look, they don't know, but they might know the box, but they don't know like it off the hand of like off the cuff of just a glance at what is inside the box. I don't know. I feel like this is a waste of space. It looks like their kitchen is massive and they probably don't have any issues with space. So that could be just purely because I have lived in smaller apartments or smaller places and the kitchen itself is just small. So I've been very good at making sure that everything fits and not having to worry about it. So we're going to move on to the home section. So restocking home goods and stuff like that. Yeah, very normal. It doesn't feel like too much. This is where it gets to me. Okay, is this necessary? I have no idea if detergent goes bad, but didn't she just have detergent? Now, Listerine, like, you're just getting it everywhere. And I know that this is rage bait and people hate it when people do that. And I am that person. Like, why are you getting it everywhere? What's the point? It just feels like you're wasting part of the product. And it just feels very unnecessary. This feels to me like the most normal restock I've seen. Like, for home and stuff, yeah, she got a few new baskets and she's like pulling things out of where they used to go. And this feels the most legit because I can see it. I can see myself doing something like that. This feels like something I would do. Like, I've used up a product, I swapped it out, I'm realizing how I want to store something, so I took them out. So this feels the most genuine out of all of the ones that I have seen so far, because I can honestly see how you would do this and be okay with it. Like, everything already had a place and she's just putting the extras back, like the new ones back where they belong, and that makes sense to me. And I'm okay with watching content like this. It makes it feel a lot more realistic, and like, this makes a lot more sense. And yeah, I really enjoy it. And like, the only thing I would do differently is putting the old ones up at the front, so I know I'm using that first. But for the most part, like, she does do that, and like, I appreciate this because it feels more realistic. It doesn't feel like she does this all the time. It just feels like she's cleaning, she's putting things back, she's, cleaning up things and making space for everything. And I think that's just fine. So yes, I'm okay with this type of video because it doesn't give that overconsumption vibe, and that you can purchase whatever you want, whenever you want, and then continue on, because more to come. That does happen. And I don't know why some of these people are purchasing some of these things, other than the fact that, like, yeah, they can probably afford it, but not everybody can. And it's just crazy at the amount that these people consume is at such a high rate that I honestly just can't understand. Again, the different color paper towels, where do you get those? I have so many questions. That felt like a waste. What is it with putting Listerine in a different container? Don't you just put it below the sink like a normal person? I don't know. That's what I do. Like, she's obviously putting out more than what she's putting up. I'm so confused as to what she's doing with those extra bottles. Oh, I don't like those. Like, I guess this is a lot more tame than most, and I don't know. I have some issues with the restocking because a part of me feels like they're lying and they're writing a lot of it off. A part of me feels like it's a little bit rage baity, which it is, with how they like slam things around. And I know that, and I still watch them. Everybody does. But also a part of me feels like they're setting such a high expectation of what you should be doing around your home, and that's just not realistic. Like, it's not realistic for people to purchase so much stuff all the time, because these people post these videos a lot. Like, there's a lot of these videos that they post, and they probably batch film a lot of this in a day. So they do their grocery shopping, and then they film their restock for their refrigerator, and then their other restocks, and then they just like post them throughout the week, which is fine. But some of this stuff lasts a while, and unless you're like a doomsday prepper, like, what's the point? Like, this stuff really does last quite a bit. Like, most of their food products that they're buying are not the ones that will easily go to waste. And also, like, I mean, that one had the lock in it. That was weird. I don't know. I also just don't care for the tapping. I said that in my last video. I don't understand it. Again, with putting things inside things that already have containers that work perfectly fine, like, do we need another container for it? That doesn't fully fit. Like, she still had stuff left over, so you're still gonna have to keep these containers around. And I think that's the part that I just don't understand, is having to then keep the container that you're trying to get rid of, but it doesn't all fit, so you can't. I wonder if that stuff works. I have questions. Is this a brand sponsorship? That this feels like a brand sponsorship, because like all of those last few products were the same brand. That was kind of crazy. I clicked on our video. It doesn't look like this is a brand sponsorship, but it was kind of odd that like all of those products were the exact same brand. So I was curious, because brands have been trying to get sneaky of like not putting ad or paid partner on things. And so I wondered if this brand had done that. Yeah, it doesn't look like she's sponsored by that specific brand. I was very curious just because of how that video played out, but no, and I don't even see it on her like Amazon storefront or anything, but that was very interesting that she popped all those products up at the same time. Maybe she's trying to get sponsored by them. Who knows? Or she just likes their products. Who actually knows? Because sometimes I feel like I can't trust some of these influencers because they try to sneakily put in some of these brand sponsorships without saying anything. And also it's like the way they do it, because I don't know. I feel like I trust an influencer that doesn't have a ton of followers, like maybe 4,000 followers, around that micro influencer range, versus these massive influencers, like all of these Restock influencers that I'm showing you, because it feels like they do it for the views and they know it'll get clicks and people will watch it, so they'll get paid for it, because these people get paid quite a bit of money for it, versus doing something different or only posting them like once a week when they actually do restock and not making it as like glamorous as it seems like. I feel like this video is a little bit simple. I mean, it's just a little honey, and like I think they restock a few other things. The honey makes sense to me. You do have to fully wash that, so I'm not too thrown that it's completely clean. This is a lot of scent beads. The people who bring out the amount of scent beads that some of these people use is kind of crazy. Like, this has got to take you a long time to go through, and that's what really throws me, is the amount of stuff that they like, stuff like that they pull out from here. Because, and trash bags, how many trash bags do you go through? It takes us forever to go through trash bags, and I feel like my husband takes the trash out like every other day because of just how much I cook. And I kind of now want some of these paper towels. I wonder how much they cost. Oh, are these reusable? These are $25 for a roll. That's insane. And these are meant for like car detailing. These are not reusable like I thought. That's so crazy. Oh my goodness, I'll pop the listing up right here, but that is actually kind of insane of how expensive those paper towels are. And I've seen them several times now. We've seen like a pink one. I think we saw a different color one, and then that green one right there. That's so crazy. $25, and they're not reusable. I would spend $25 on something that's reusable, but those aren't even reusable. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. My mind is just blown. Like, that is so pointless. My dad would buy those paper towels because he works in his shop and they're used for very specific things, and they're very good about getting grease off of your hands and like wiping down everything to make sure you get all the grease and stuff up. But no, my mother would never buy $25 paper towels just for the color, oh my gosh, she would slap me upside the head if I did that and told her about it. So this first video we're going to watch, I grabbed both of them as his nightstand and her nightstand, and everything in here is black and new. So obviously, like, why are you restocking that? Is that not something that he normally wears? Is that just something that you purchased for him, which is fine? But it's the like pulling everything out and placing them down one at a time. Also, can he not restock his own stuff? Like, all this stuff is brand new. Was there not a single thing that he used that he liked? Okay, he's got some glasses. I'm glad. Okay, some of the stuff feels like bathroom products, and this is his nightstand. Like, if my husband started clipping his nails in our bed, I would be pissed. I have no problem putting a Bible and notebook in your nightstand, but some of the other stuff just feels very bathroom, like they belong in the bathroom. Okay, and now we're gonna watch her do her sides, and you see on her side, it doesn't say that it's her side, it just says pink nightstand restock, but I'm assuming it's her side versus the black one, which was her husband's. And again, was there nothing in your nightstand that you liked? Like, did you have to get all new things for your nightstand just to do this restock? Like, why do you have to spray it out? Like, at least spray it on your hand and use it. Those things are so expensive too. Like, again, with the things that should belong in your bathroom. Like, those things back there are toothpicks. Like, that's so gross. Like, I'm glad they're keeping their Bibles in a Colleen Hoover book. That seems like a very odd mix to put together right on top of each other, but that's fine. But, like, she pretty much opened brand new things for everything that she put in her nightstand. I'm sorry, there are, like, staples in my nightstand that I keep in my nightstand that if I was, like, I don't even know what I would restock my nightstand. The chapstick that I put on my lips at night before I go to sleep, that would be about it. That is, like, the only thing that I repurchase for my nightstand. Everything else is kind of there that I just generally keep in my nightstand. That just seems like you bought all of that stuff just to like film those two videos. But I wonder, did your husband take whatever he didn't like out of the nightstand? Or like, I don't know. My husband would hate that. He'd be like, why can't I have my own nightstand? And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Like, he does what he wants with his side of the bed, and I do what I want with my side of the bed. My only stipulation is keep it clean. And I don't know, it just feels like you took your personality and put it into his color palette. Is that even the color that he likes? Black? I mean, I guess every guy likes the color black. I don't know. Okay, now we're moving on to bathroom, because I feel like bathroom is kind of a big topic when it comes to these restocking videos. They kind of get a little out of hand with how much they're actually restocking and how much sense it makes, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense if I'm being 100% honest. All right, starting video now. And a lot of these are just, I feel like, rage baiting. They get stuff everywhere. It doesn't actually make a ton of sense. Like, is this a cute little gadget? Is it necessary? No. Is it cool? Yeah. Which, these are fine. Or we could just get, like, did you use that right then? Like, again, I don't think we need to see what a sponge looks like. And how many sponges do you need for your face? Like, that just seems so unnecessary. And again, with the opening it, like, did you just open all of that stuff and then throw it away? Like, I know this stuff isn't cheap. It's why most people buy reusable things for the bathroom. And again, with the pink toilet paper, like, I wonder how much that cost if the towels cost $25. All right, whatever. Yeah, you like the aesthetic as one better. I don't care about that. Which is kind of shocking because they pink everything else everywhere else. It's the opening things and then showing you what it is, even though instead of doing the clickety clackety on everything, you could just say what it is versus opening it and using it and throwing it away and just wasting that one use. Because a lot of that stuff was just single use, and that's just not environmentally friendly. Like, I'm not saying I'm the most environmentally friendly person, but everything that I use pretty much in the bathroom is you can wash it and then I can reuse it. And that goes all the way to the face pads that I use for like wiping off most of my makeup after I've done another cleanser, because it's just hard to get some of the stuff off. And I wash them and I reuse them because I just got reusable ones knowing that I do that. And honestly, it makes my life so much easier. I don't have to keep purchasing them. That just seemed like so much waste. Unless this is like a spare bathroom, and then that's still a ton of stuff just to put in your spare bathroom. And I hope it like doesn't go bad, I guess. I feel like it's the word restock that gets me when you put brand new stuff in the drawer. Like, don't call it a restock. Just say, like, stocking it up, or, like, call it something else, because it doesn't make sense, I guess. Like, you clearly started from a clean slate. Again, with with the non-reusable stuff. I just wonder if they take all of this stuff out and then put it all back in for the video, or how often they film this and they just recut it in different ways so they can reuse the video several times before they have to like actually refilm it. I have so many questions. Yeah, I think that's some of my top ones, because I feel like you could cut that video in several different ways for it to be like really engaging and fun and not have to actually do anything. And then you clean everything out, you put it back and do another video and just update some of the things that you keep in there, I guess. I don't know. I have questions. Again, I just feel like, why isn't that stuff in the shower? Those back there, that's a shampoo and a conditioner. And I know that because I use those. Is that another conditioner? Why isn't some of that stuff in the shower? Like, do you not use that all the time? Do people not do that? Do they not use the same shampoo every single day? Or whenever they wash their hair? Like, I only wash my hair like 3 times a week, but I use the same shampoo. That was weird. I think I have issues when they say restock and you're putting like brand new containers and things, and it looks like you're starting from a like fresh slate. Again, some of these just feel like brand deals with the day. I mean, it could be what they actually use. Or like they're trying to get it, or it could have been a Billy brand deal, honestly. I mean, honestly, that wasn't bad. That was like a normal shower. I wonder how often she puts those videos out, but like, that felt like a normal shower, and it wasn't like outrageous. It felt like it was a single product for a single need, and I have about that many products also in the shower, so that wasn't the craziest thing I have seen thus far today. All right, moving on to my final little segment, and that is what kind of brought me into this and why I wanted to talk about it. Like, yes, all of it was crazy, but I could justify everything that they did, almost. I get 99% of the things that we have already seen I could justify, and I'd be okay with it. And I'd be like, yeah, some people just buy more things, they overconsume, that's fine. If they can afford it and they're not putting it on credit cards, I don't care. And for the most part, I'm okay with that. I don't care, because I actually don't. I am... You can ask my husband. I actually don't care that much. I just needed something to talk about. And this is what gave me something to talk about. These travel restock mini essentials. How many of these do you actually need? How often do you actually travel? Why do you have so many of these things? And aren't some of these things just going to go bad? Like, if you're not traveling enough and using this enough? Okay. Let's watch the first episode. Let's watch the first video. Like, first of all, the very first one that you even pulled out, you opened and squirted it everywhere. Like, I hope you're using that product now, or is it just going to go bad? Like, how often do you go through this and see if any of these things have expired? And how often do you actually use any of this stuff? Because for the most part, I use my own products when I travel. I just put them... Like, do you need that many Rare Beauty minis? I'm going to be really honest. I buy the Rare Beauty minis and use them as full products because they take forever to go through. So I just get the minis. This is just kind of insane. I just want to know how much this person travels, and do they actually go through all of stuff? Because that stuff is expensive. Like, that's not like a cheap thing to purchase, because I hate purchasing it when I travel. Like, it's so expensive, but it's necessary, especially when you're going overseas and you can only take so much because you have to fit everything in that tiny little pouch. Like, how many of each of these things do you actually need? And that is so many AirPods. And you're just putting that in this container. Do you not use them? Like, are these not things that you use on a general basis? Like hand sanitizer? Like, do you need all of this stuff? Pill organizer? I have. No big deal. That's a necessity. I get it. But some of this stuff just seems outrageous. Those things were literally just... like, that's all the same color. I have so many questions. Some of the stuff I feel like are things that people pack when they go hiking. Like, I would pack those White My Tushes when I go hiking just in case I am not close to a bathroom. But some of the stuff, like the amount of AirPods that they have is kind of insane, because are you not using those? Is that not like a product you use on a day-to-day? Or they have those things that clip on the side of the Stanley cups and put things in. I don't really know what you put in those little circular things. Like, if you've got pills to take, just take them now, I guess. And then all the lipsticks, and I don't understand why this is a necessity to keep in your home, because I feel like some of this stuff is just going to go bad. What's with the Tic Tacs? What's with the mini Tic Tacs? Can we not just bring a full-size Tic Tacs? Is it necessary to show us that those are sponges? I think by now we all know that those are sponges. Do we need mini tahines? Do we need that many? Could we not just have one bottle and then have a mini one and then fill it up with the big one? Again, with showing us what they are. I think we know. Okay, that's a useful product. That's something I would purchase maybe. But do you need that many of them? Like, isn't the point to just have one and refill it? Why are we putting chocolate in there? Some of these things just feel like bathroom items that should just go into the bathroom, if I'm being 100% honest. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Having many things that you can refill. Again with the chocolate. Why are we putting chocolate in this? I don't understand the chocolate. Like, what's the point of putting chocolate in this? Like, putting things that aren't going to go bad in it. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess, and you keep it away. But also, I feel like some of those products I would just want to use versus just waiting until I travel. Like, those are things that I can only use when I travel. All right, this next video is a restock my purse essentials. I didn't know that we needed... I'm not really a purse carrier, so I feel like I don't have that much to say, so I guess let's just watch it and see what they need for their essentials for their purse. But wouldn't you just keep it in your purse? All right, bathroom things. Sure, you don't want to keep a ton in your purse, so I get, but wouldn't you just keep that in your bathroom at home? And just, again, when you keep tampons in your bathroom at home, what is it with everybody showing us that these are towels? I'm kind of tired of seeing that. Why do you have the towels if you also have the Neutrogena towels? And do you need that many Advils? Like, can't you just have one in a big bottle and just refill it? Sure, it's gum. Why would you put any of this stuff in your purse? This seems so not important. Yeah, but why do you need two? So many questions. Again with the minis, like, can't we just keep those in the bathroom and just use them and then grab them if we need them? I mean, I'd get it more if she was like packing like a little thing to go in her purse that had makeup in it, but this is just sitting on her counter. It's not really going anywhere. So what was the point in it? It's the overconsumption of all of it that really starts to irritate me, because I'm like, what is the point? Why are we doing this? What is the point? And we could have done better. Like, there's no point in buying this much stuff. Some of it I get, but again, why not just put it in the bathroom? It doesn't need to be out. Why not just replace some of the stuff that's in your purse when it's done, instead of holding on to all of this stuff? Because then it's just as old as the one that you just got done using. Because honestly, some of these influencers just make so much money. It just isn't fathomable to understand the type of money that they have. And when they post like this, you think it's normal because they post it on a normal daily basis. Or when these restockers post every day all the things that they're restocking, it makes it feel like you should be restocking these things all the time when their shelf life is pretty long and it takes a while to go through these products. They just get paid good money to do that, and they also get a tax cut of buying some of these products because they're going in their videos. And I don't know, I felt like we should be talking about that more and normalizing the understanding that this is overconsumption and that is what we're ingesting as content. Because when you start to think of it that way, it makes you feel less guilty for not spending as much money or not having the money to spend, because we don't, and people don't have the money to spend like that. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like it would make our world a little bit better to like have that more of an understanding, instead of always striving for this perfect life in this perfect house, because everybody else who lives like everybody else doesn't have this, and that's just not something we can afford to do. And that's okay. Like, it's okay to live like that. I mean, you see all of the stuff that's behind me. Like, I do not live a picture perfect life. I literally take the photos that my husband have above his desk off, so they're not just sitting above my head, because I don't like the way it looks. But other than that, like, this is like our office that we share because we live in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment, and that's how we live life, and that's perfectly fine because it works for us. And whatever works for you and whatever you can afford, if that works for you, that is perfectly fine too. It is okay not to live in a Pinterest perfect life and feel like your world should look like these, like these people's worlds, because it probably doesn't, and that's okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about just the ungodly amount of overconsumption that people are doing, and the way we're consuming it. It makes it feel like we should all be living like this, and it doesn't matter. We don't have to. So that was my 2 cents on all of these restock videos and the overconsumption okayness that we're allowing to be okay with. Yeah, so come back next week for another video, and I hope you have a good one. Please like and subscribe. That would be great. And I will see y'all next week. Bye.